Hi, in this video we're going to look at the core skill of having a mindful conversation and mindful listening. So my name's Simon, I'm a mindfulness teacher, I've been doing it for 20 years. I help people mainly in the workplace, but these are skills which are equally relevant in your social life. Mindful listening is a key tool for people who are listening professionals like coaches, but it's actually something which is of benefit to all of us in our relationships and communication at work. Mindful listening helps us interact better in all our relationships, and it's a way of better understanding the other points of view so that communication improves. So let's have a look both at the theory of this and also do a little bit of practice so that you can start communicating better with people today. Let's have a look at it now. When we hold a conversation, whose voice are we actually listening to? That of the person we're talking to? The words we speak, or the narrative in our own head? How fast do we jump to conclusions, make judgments or form opinions, find answers to the other person's problems, or just get bored and drift off? So good listening is focused on actively staying attentive while trying to understand what the other person is saying, and in the process helping them to work through their thinking process creatively. Mindfulness gives us a skill to step back and hold off from our judgments, remaining in a position of selfless attention, and inhibit our normal reactivity, such as quickly forming counter-arguments to make our point. Mindfulness exercises like the body scan can be very useful here too, helping us notice when our own buttons get pushed that start to trigger self-protective responses. And we can observe ourselves tightening up or getting tense in some part of the body. This body intelligence is much quicker and more reliable than the analytical thinking process. So, if we bring the active listening and the selfless attention together and open our minds to other points of view, the other person will feel heard and rapport will build. Sometimes too we need to listen for what's not being said, and this is where we employ intuition and pick up other clues, such as reading body language and trying to tune into the emotional state of the other person. A key tool in this whole process is patience. Sometimes the cogs turn slowly as people gain insight or find the best way to communicate what they're thinking. So the best thing a listener can do, quite often, is simply to wait, silently. Our job is to give them the space for this to happen. And this is not a passive role. By creating this space, the other person is given permission to make a creative leap in their own understanding. So you never interrupt the thought process of the person you're talking to. Just wait, maybe nod your head or smile to show you're still paying attention, but silence can be a highly productive experience. And if you're not sure what someone is saying or whether there's more to consider, just ask a simple question like, "Can you tell me more about that?" Or if they're being very analytical, ask them, "How does that feel to you?" Or another useful question can sometimes be, "Is that really true?" It can also be useful to help the other person explore things outside the box, with a question like, "If you put aside the costs and practicalities, describe an ideal solution." Or, "If I asked you to make this impossible thing happen, how could you approach it differently?" So, to summarize, to become more effective as a listener, whether you're a leader, a team member, or a coach, mindful listening is probably the most useful skill you can learn. Just by keeping quiet and offering your selfless attention, people will thank you and think you're brilliant, even though they've done all the work. Okay, that's all for now. And if you want to get more insights into mindful living, you might be interested in getting a free paperback copy of my book, The Path Leads Here. So I'll put the link on screen. Thanks very much.